Michael James Tindall is an English former rugby union player. Tindall played outside centre for Bath and Gloucester, and won 75 caps for England between 2000 and 2011. He was a member of the English squad which won the 2003 World Cup. Tindall made his debut for England on February 5, 2000, against Ireland in the 2006 Nations Championship. As well as winning the 2003 World Cup, he was a member of the England team which won the 2003 Six Nations Championship. He was injured at the 2007 Rugby World Cup. Tindall played in 11 Six Nations Championship competitions from 2000 to 2011. Tindall is married to Zara Phillips, the daughter of Anne, Princess Royal, and the eldest granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. They have 3 children. Early life. Michael James Tindall was born October 18, 1978 at Wharfedale Hospital in Otley, West Yorkshire, the son of Philip Phil Tindall, a banker for Barclays, and Linda, a social worker. Tindall's maternal ancestors include bootmakers, stonemasons, and weavers. His paternal great-grandfather, Arthur Sutcliffe Tindall, was a blacksmith, the grandson of William Tindall, a landowner farming 105 acres at Fairburn, North Yorkshire. Tindall was educated at the private school Queen Elizabeth Grammar School, Wakefield, while his father captained Otley Rugby Union Football Club. Career. Bath. Tindall joined Bath straight from school, as an 18-year-old in 1997. At the time, the centre pairing at Bath and England were Jeremy Guscott and Phil de Glanville, but after the 1999 Rugby World Cup, Tindall played regularly at both club and country level, making his England debut against Ireland at Twickenham in 2000 alongside Mike Catt, scoring a try in the process. Despite criticism over the years, in particular from Will Carling and ex-Bath fly half Stuart Barnes, he cemented the outside centre position as his own with a partnership with inside centre Will Greenwood, playing in the 2003 Rugby World Cup. Tindall wore the number 12 jersey and played at outside centre. He usually lined up outside Greenwood, as the latter preferred to wear the number 13 jersey for superstitious reasons. He was dropped for the semi-final in favour of Mike Catt, whose kicking was required in the rainy weather. Tindall was reinstated in the final, which England won. Tindall missed the 2005 Six Nations with a foot injury. He was unable to regain his fitness for the British and Irish Lions tour to New Zealand. Described by England's former head coach, Andy Robinson, as the heartbeat of the side, Tindall was found his way back to form, following a lengthy absence, in 2005. Tindall's contract became up for renewal in 2005, but encountered difficulties with Bath's strict salary cap policy. After falling out with Bath owner Andrew Brownsword over the offer of an early testimonial game and further concerns over his long-term fitness, Tindall ended his 8-year association with Bath. He joined their West Country rivals Gloucester Rugby on a 3-year deal worth £150,000. Gloucester. After returning from injury in the autumn of 2005, Tindall regained his England place, this time at inside centre. At club level, he continued to play at 13, with the 12 shirt going to Henry Paul. The partnership was heavily criticised and Tindall reportedly spent much of the season showing a poor run of form despite selection. Henry Paul broke club rules and fell out of favour with Gloucester Rugby coach, Dean Ryan, during an incident at Tindall's girlfriend's birthday party. Young centre, Anthony Allen, was subsequently introduced, which helped forge the start of a powerful centre partnership between the two towards the end of the season. His partnership with Jamie Noone was criticised, with claims that the bulky partnership lacked imagination and playmaking ability. Tindall has a strong cult following, however, and is often nicknamed the Fridge due to his sizable bulk. During his recuperation from another injury in 2005, Tindall entered the British Poker Open tournament, finishing in third place in his heat before being eliminated by John Gale. On November 18, 2006, Tindall made his first Guinness Premiership start of the season against third-placed Wasps. Troubled by a calf injury into the 2006-07 season, he made only 2 appearances as a replacement, against Worcester and Irish. Tindall came back from his injury however with a much more highly rated run of form. Tindall was again included in the England starting lineup for the 2007 Six Nations opener against Scotland at Twickenham, under new head coach Brian Ashton, selected to play outside former rugby league footballer Andy Farrell. In April 2007, playing away against Newcastle Falcons in the Guinness Premiership, Tindall broke his leg in a tackle on Toby Flood, forcing him to miss the rest of the season, including the Guinness Premiership final. This also precluded his selection for the 2007 Rugby World Cup. In October 2007, after recovering from injury, Tindall returned to the Gloucester starting lineup, against Worcester Warriors at home, in the Guinness Premiership. Tindall had a fairytale comeback, scoring a try to the Shed's delight. On December 7, 2007 against Bourgoin in the Heineken Cup, Tindall limped off the field with a shin injury sustained in a similar tackle from that against Newcastle the previous season when he broke his leg. Despite this injury, Tindall recovered quickly and played the following week, continuing his form for Gloucester. In February 2008 Tindall was named in Brian Ashton's squad for the upcoming Six Nations Championship, and thus started for England at outside centre against Wales at Twickenham on February 2, 2008. During the match, he accidentally landed on winger Mark Jones's foot and had to be stretchered off. He had attempted to win possession just as Jones was kicking the ball away, and was ruled out of the tournament with internal bleeding, a perforated liver, and a punctured lung. Tindall stated in a press conference that he was happy just to be alive after his injury, but was looking forward to returning to the field for Gloucester in what he hoped would be towards the business end of the season in April. In January 2008, Tindall announced a new 3-year deal signed to remain at Gloucester until the end of the 2011 season. In April 2012, Gloucester announced that Tindall would be one of a group of 11 players not playing for the club next season. However, in June 2012, he agreed a 1-year contract as a player and backs coach at Gloucester. In May 2013, he signed a new contract to remain player backs coach for another year. On July 15, 2014, Tindall announced his retirement from professional rugby. Minchinhampton RFC. Since retiring, Tindall has gone back to grassroots rugby and is playing and coaching with amateur club Minchinhampton RFC, who compete in Gloucester 2. Tindall made his debut against Gloucester All Blues in October 2014. Minchinhampton RFC is conveniently located for Tindall next to Gatcombe Park where he lives. 2011 Rugby World Cup misconduct. On November 11, 2011, Tindall was fined £25,000 by the Rugby Football Union and was removed from its elite player squad as a result of his throwing a dwarf in Queenstown, New Zealand, during the 2011 Rugby World Cup. Martin Johnson, the England manager, had initially supported Tindall, but it was stated later that, including Johnson, had been misled. After a formal inquiry, the RFU said that Tindall's actions were unacceptable and would not be tolerated. Tindall said he intended to appeal against the decision. On November 28, 2011 the appeal partly succeeded. Tindall's suspension from the England squad was set aside and the fine was reduced to £15,000. Tindall stated during the appeal process that he had not intentionally misled Johnson, as he did not remember the relevant events. Tindall was filmed flirting with an unknown woman at a bar in Queenstown, New Zealand. During the 2011 Rugby World Cup, a bouncer uploaded security camera footage of the incident to YouTube, and was later charged with accessing a computer system for a dishonest purpose. Barbarians. Tindall was selected for the Barbarians squad on their short tour in May 2012 against England at Twickenham, Ireland at Kingsholm Stadium, Gloucester, and Wales at the Millennium Stadium. In May 2013, Tindall captained the Barbarians against England at Twickenham. Tindall was named a replacement for the Barbarians against the British and Irish Lions as part of their 2013 tour to Australia. International tries. Personal life. On December 21, 2010, Buckingham Palace announced the engagement of Tindall to Zara Phillips, the daughter of Anne, Princess Royal, and her first husband Captain Mark Phillips. Phillips is the eldest granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. The couple first met during the 2003 Rugby World Cup in Australia. As was required at the time by the Royal Marriages Act 1772, the Queen gave her consent to their marriage in a meeting of the Privy Council on May 10, 2011. The wedding took place on July 30, 2011 at Canongate Kirk in Edinburgh with 400 guests in attendance, including the royal family. The Tindalls resided in a £1.2 million home in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire, before moving on to the Gatcombe Park estate near Minchinhampton. On January 17, 2014, it was announced that Zara had given birth to a baby girl at Gloucestershire Royal Hospital. The couple named their daughter Mia Grace Tindall. Mia was christened on November 30, 2014 at St. Nicholas's Church in the village of Sherrington in Gloucestershire. His wife's next two pregnancies ended in miscarriage, before their second daughter, Lena Elizabeth Tindall, was born on June 18, 2018, at Stroud Maternity Hospital. Their third child, son Lucas Philip, was born on March 21, 2021 at Gatcombe Park. Tindall has 2 convictions for drunk driving. His nose was broken at least 8 times during his rugby career. In 2018, he underwent a surgery that fixed the fractures. In 2015, Tindall appeared on reality television shows The Jump and Bear Grylls, Mission Survive. He hosted the podcast House of Rugby together with James Haskell and Alex Payne, before launching another podcast with them in August 2020, titled The Good, the Bad and the Rugby. Tindall is set to appear in the 2022 edition of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.